Hey YouTube, Skippy here, continuing on with the Redstone tutorial. Now you remember from last time, we talked about what Redstone is and where to find it, as well as the basics of transmission and Redstone torches, how they act on powered and non-powered blocks, as well as the repeaters here. Now what we're going to get into today is Redstone transmission. More than just the basic, only 15 meters of power that we went over before, but how Redstone actually connects to devices and how you can get power from point A to point B. Now, what we're going to start with is Redstone dots. Redstone dots are kind of a way to show the most basic connection of redstone wire. It is a single piece of redstone placed on the ground, and it will connect on all sides. So if I flip this lever here, you'll see it lights up everything around it. Now, it will not light up something that is below it, but it will connect on all sides, and it kind of shows that connection here. Whereas, if I were to say come over here and set down a lamp, there's nothing that's actually connecting to the lamp, which is why it doesn't light up. So anything that you want to have power has to have a connection going into it. That's just how we kind of demonstrate it here with the redstone dot. Now the next thing to talk about is torches versus levers, and really it's torches versus any kind of mechanism that provides redstone power. So you can be talking about buttons, pressure plates, tripwires, anything like that does the same thing that a lever does. Now a torch, you can see, powers all the way around it like this, but it doesn't power below it. And I can stick one here and it'll power this too. But it does not power below it. A lever powers all the same direction except for this. You don't get the power here with a lever, but you get power below it. So you kind of see those are going to be the differences in power. You get a little stronger transmission from redstone torches, but you get a downward transmission with levers, buttons, pressure plates, anything like that, because they will always power the block that they are attached to. Okay, so the next thing to talk about is strong versus weak power. And I kind of just gave it away there. But weak power is talking about whether or not, or strong versus weak power is talking about whether or not a block that is receiving power will emit power. So to demonstrate that, I have a lever here on a block which will power this block, powering the redstone line, powering this block. So you'll see this block has enough power to turn on a redstone lamp. Or say if I threw a piston on here, it has enough power to power that. It does not, however, have power to transmit and light another lamp. This is what we would call a weakly powered block. So it'll operate a mechanism, but it will not emit power any further. Now this one here, this is, as you can see, labeled strong power. When I flip this switch, the same thing is happening. This block gets powered, powering the redstone line, but this time it's powering a repeater into this block. That means that this block is now being powered by the repeater instead of just a redstone line. This turns this light on, also allows the block to emit power and turn this redstone lamp on. So that is going to be your difference between strong versus weak powered. If you want a block to emit power, you have to have some kind of mechanism powering the block. Now, I could reach the same effect by putting a redstone here and actually making, basically, if I did the old style repeater, it would have the same kind of effect. So let me grab another repeater. We'll fix this again real quick. That's a comparator. We are not going to be getting into those in this tutorial. They are a little bit of an advanced thing here. We will definitely eventually get to that. The next thing we're going to talk about is vertical transmission. So this is how you can get power up. Just if you needed to put power in a compact space straight up. And this is kind of the easiest, most straightforward way to do it. If you have the vertical room, if you're going to go a long way up, this definitely is a way you can do it. So what that does is it takes advantage of the redstone torch feature that we talked about earlier in the first video. that a torch on a powered block will turn off. And you can use that to create a chain of powered and unpowered torches going up. So you can see that this lever is powering this block that turns off this torch. Put a block right above that, put a powered, turned on redstone torch here, powers this block, turns that torch off, does not power this block, this torch is on all the way up to the top. So if I flip this switch, you can see that now this one switches, as do they all the way up, and the light turns off. So that is one way to get vertical transmission. The other way is to kind of do it like this. Same concept, a little bit larger area, but you can put an entire side of this to be on at one time. So if I flip this switch, you can see it swaps. This side is now all powered, all the way up to the top, and again, this side is all powered all the way to the top. Now you notice with both of these, when I hit the switch, there is a little bit of a delay, and that's something that you may need to account for in your transmission. Now there is another way, and it's over there, of doing transmission, but we will talk about that here in just a couple of minutes after we talk about redstone connectivity. So it's going to be very important during builds that you move redstone up and down and over blocks. So to understand this, redstone will go up or down one solid block without an issue. So I'm going to real quick turn all of these off. So like I said, it will power up and down one block, no issue. You still have that 15 block limit. Now this here, you can see it goes up a block just fine, but if it has a powered block blocking it, then it will not transmit. Or not a power block, but a solid block. So anything that is solid will block the transmission of redstone. Now it's very important if you're doing something like I put doorbells on most of my houses. And if you're doing this, you have to make sure that you have room to cover up your redstone and make it hidden without cutting off the line with a solid block. Now, the difference being, if I flip this switch, glass is not considered a solid block. So redstone will transmit right through glass. It is not going to block redstone at all. Same goes for half slabs. Will allow, because they are not considered a solid block, as well as glowstone. Now, glowstone has an interesting feature of its own. And what that is that glowstones can make diodes, which allow for one-way transmission. Basically, if I flip this switch, you can see that the power transmits up the glowstone just fine. Goes across this way, not a big deal. But if I go across this way and I flip this switch, you can see the power does not transmit down. The other thing about glowstone is that you can use it to make a vertical repeater or a vertical transmission without a delay. And all you have to do is have the block set up in this formation and put a dot of redstone on each of them. And you have a vertical transmit with absolutely no delay. Now, the difference between this and these, I can make this go as high as I want. It'll just have a longer delay the higher you make it. With the glowstone one, you have to worry about the 15 block limit of redstone, because that still applies even when going vertical. So the next thing that we are going to talk about is going to be why there are delays in these kinds of vertical repeaters, and in all reality, anything where you have something other than redstone wire. And that is going to be where we start the next video, and we are going to talk about redstone tick delay and how you can use it to your advantage to make clocks. So that's going to be in our next video. If you want to see how everything works there, please hit the like button, hit subscribe, and leave a comment, and I will see you here on the next one. Thanks for watching.